That's our new song for the youths.
Singati kulibe weuziva ndishi kulibe chako makangati ulibe ndalama ndishi kulibe chako koma ngati mwana wachite na vaja wachite manje vaja wachite uyu ni mwana wawo mulembe ni ntchito ngati ulibe connection ndishi kulibe chako ngati ulibe connection ndishi walila
The baddest youths are making music. This is a song from the baddest youth in Chipata, Joe Bodan. That was Maki G from Chipata, Joe Bodan Maki G. Yeah.
Exclusive from zamflavor.com.
Joe Bodan Maki G. Joe Bodan. I love youths that are very talented like this. Velani kulila mayuthi valila deile. Velani kulila mayuthi valila deile. Okay, without wasting much of your time, the song has been done by Mac G. We are going to publish it. This is one of our official songs for the youths, and I would love to thank all the youths across the country who have responded to this movement. You know, I love you so much, and I want you guys to make sure that this is our movement. This is for us all. You know, together we stand. Together we stand strong. And you young people in Mansa, Mongu, Solwezi, Rufunza, whichever part of the country, Choma, Mazabuka. Good job, Mazabuka. Baddest team, Mazabuka. Job well done, Mazabuka. Job well done. I think Mazabuka, we are doing very well as the baddest movement. Mazabuka are doing very, 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 very well. Yeah. And all the young youths, young people, young musicians, young artists, if you have music for our movement, for the revolution, this that we have, please come up with that music. Send that music to me, and we shall be playing that music. They need to know, once the youth start playing the music, once our music starts to go around, that music will make sure that it's viral, will make sure that it reaches their ears. Because the best way, you know, when you're artists, the best way to communicate is through music, through art, and they shall know. So I want to start first of all by addressing our members of parliament. Uh, the Bill 10 is one of the contentious issues that we are looking at today, and I want to look at this. I want all of you to start sharing this video. Share it so that people can watch and learn some of the few sentiments I'm going to add on the Bill 10. Now, this Bill 10, if you look at it, I wanted to give an example, and I want to give an example of the whole scenario of the Bill 10. It's like, imagine Nshima, okay, they've put sand in it, okay, and then someone gives you that lump of Nshima with sand in it. Can you eat that lump of Nshima with sand? Yes, you need the Nshima to eat. You need that Nshima. You need it to eat. You need to eat it, isn't it? It will give you energy, it will give you whatever, right? But that Nshima, you can't really eat it if it's got sand. First of all, how are you going to even, how are you going to do like that? So what is happening is that the Bill 10 has got some nice things in it, some nice articles and all those things in it, but there are some issues that are contentious. There are some issues that are not good for the citizens of this country. Now, look at, I was looking at some of the articles, and it's quite interesting how all these things are happening, isn't it? Now, one of my concerns, okay, is that next year, do you know that the president, let me just go to these things so that I read, okay? So Article 81 clause 9 says the president may due to state of emergency, state of war, state of public emergency, after dissolution of parliament, and before holding election, recall National Assembly. Okay, now listen to me carefully. The president may, due to state of war, state of public emergency, after dissolution of parliament, recall National Assembly. So meaning that next year's elections, if, for example, the Patriotic Front sees that they have not campaigned properly, and the thing is they've not campaigned properly, and they foresee they may lose an election, they may just cause a few problems here and there, some confusion, and the president can say there is a state of emergency. So meaning you and I can't even vote. Now, what I'm going to say is this. I need to be reading for you people. This document is on your phones. You can find it on your phones, on the internet. You can find it on the internet. Okay. Now, I want to go to Act number 2 of 2016. I want to read these things properly, right? And first of all, I need to go through these things so that you understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so Yeah, I've been reading this document. Oh my goodness. I have been reading like no man's business. I have been reading and 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 reading. Okay. So I want to look at now. There's like I said, that the president next year, in case he can say he's got the powers to say there's a state of emergency and there can't be elections. Okay, now I want to read. That's the problem of putting things on your phone. That's the problem when you have your things on your phone. It becomes a problem because you have to go. Okay. We are almost there. Okay. We are almost there. Now, first, before I go to the president and all, I want to read, first of all, this Act number 2 of 2016, right? To say, we the people of Zambia acknowledge the supremacy of God Almighty. We acknowledge the supremacy of God Almighty, okay? Declare the Republic Christian nation while upholding persons' rights to freedom of conscience, belief, religion, whatever it is. Okay? Now, we heard the Patriotic Front through some of their vuvuzelas saying to say Zambia is a Christian nation. Therefore, in this other in the bulletin, what they are saying is that listen to this carefully. Okay, listen to this carefully. Revise the preamble in order to reaffirm the Christian character of Zambia. The Christian character of Zambia. So what they are trying to do is this: revise the principles. Okay, now revise the preamble in order to reaffirm Christian character in Zambia. Now, they simply want to dent others evil and them clean and Christian. Now, the Act number 2 of 2016 recognizes that that God Almighty, the supremacy of God, but it should not be something that should be contentious. That should be like it's a matter of life and death. So now, what we foresee here is a situation where they are going to use Christianity. Okay, they are going to use Christianity to dent other candidates evil and them clean. So they will probably say, this is the more reason why we have seen in the public, no, there are those people who worship the devil. What? Because Zambians are Christian people. Zambia is a Christian nation. So they are using the notion of Christian nation to woodwink you, to brainwash you. So the use of Christian nation is not so much to make, like for them they are really Christians. No, is to make you look, is to make it seem like the other candidates are not recognizing God. That's why they don't want this constitution. No, it's not that the people that are saying no to Bulletin are not Christian. It's not that they are unchristian. No. But they want to make it as a contentious issue to say, no. Those people, what they don't want is the Christian nation. So this is the more reason I'm saying, look, it's like you give someone a lump of Nshima with sand in it. How will that person eat? Look, outside it looks very decorated, but when you eat it, can you eat something that has got sand? No. Now, like I said, okay, like I said, here the president, this bill 10 is giving the presidency even more powers. Okay, more powers. Now, I want to look at, there is one thing I want to look at, I want to go to, that I want you to really listen to me carefully. Okay, I want you to listen to me carefully. Carefully, 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 carefully. Okay, carefully. I want you to listen to this carefully. Okay. The electro process. Now, let me read the electro system and process. A citizen, that citizens are free to exercise their political rights. Universal adult suffrage based on equality of a vote. Okay. Now, I'm going to jump, okay, and read Electoral Commission of Zambia. Electoral Commission of Zambia. Okay, the Electoral Commission of Zambia. Okay. Now, listen to this. The elections, okay, now listen to that. The electoral process system and administering elections shall ensure that elections are free and fair, that elections are free from violence, intimidation, and corruption. So, the ECZ, Electoral Commission of Zambia, is supposed to ensure that elections are free from violence, intimidation, and corruption. Independence, accountability, efficiency, and transparency of the electoral process. A simple, practical system of voting and tabulating votes. I want you to listen to that. So, what is happening is this. The Electoral Commission of Zambia, as it stands in the current constitution, has got the power over electoral violence, okay, as at now. Now, when it comes to the Bill 10, okay, the Bill 10, I want you to listen to what they said about the Electoral Commission of Zambia. Okay, Electoral Commission of Zambia. I want you to listen carefully. Okay, you need to share this video so that people start learning these things and start knowing. Now, Electoral Commission of Zambia, in this document, listen to this. There is established the Electoral Commission of Zambia, which shall be independent and have offices in provinces and districts progressively. The Electoral Commission of Zambia shall implement electoral process, conduct elections and referenda, register voters, settle minor disputes as prescribed. Settle minor disputes. Meaning that the Electoral Commission, if you compare the current constitution, empowers the Electoral Commission of Zambia to come in when there is electoral violence, when there is electoral malpractices. The Electoral Commission of Zambia can come in and say, can have influence. But what is happening is that the Electoral Commission of Zambia is only allowed to settle minor issues. Okay? Can only deal with minor issues. settle minor electoral disputes as prescribed, regulate the conduct of voters and candidates, okay, accredit observers, delimit electoral boundaries, and perform such other functions as prescribed. Okay, now, if they are only going to settle minor issues, what happens to electoral violence? What happens to malpractices? So what is happening is that they are simply trying to, undress Electoral Commission of Zambia. And the Electoral Commission of Zambia, when there is electoral violence, they are not going to come in. If you and I are going to be masked, and although who's going to come and intervene and say, oh, this thing is going on? Now, Human Rights Commission, okay, when this bill goes through, what will happen is that it will be embedded in the constitution, and these people, their powers will be limited. Okay, the powers will be limited. So their powers, it will be embedded in the constitution such that these people cannot say anything, because it's in the constitution that they are only allowed to deal with minor issues. Okay, now Human Rights Commission, that is my other contention for me. The Human Rights Commission, they want to embed, because right now the Human Rights Commission can challenge government when there is infringement of human rights. One of the things that you and I can enjoy right now is that the freedom of expression. We can go on the streets and use our placards and all. But they want to embed it in the constitution that the Human Rights Commission will be limited. Their hands will be tied on what they comment on. So if you and I, our rights are infringed, the Human Rights Commission has got limits. So what that is in telling you is that this thing will favor more the people in power than the citizens themselves. And now, okay, I was really reading and trying to understand, to say, why is it that you would want to punish your citizens? Why would you want to punish your own citizens? Now, this bill will give it will give them powers in parliament. Okay, it will give them power when they come. The Patriotic Front will have control. Once they have control over parliament, it means that they have control over anything in the country. Okay, it will mean that they will have control over any decision making in the country, because they'll be controlling parliament. So now what they've also done is that they want to get a majority of parliament. So once they've got majority of parliament, they are able to, you can, there's nothing that you're going to do. They are going, everything they pass. Now, I want to come back to our MPs, our members of parliament, to say, you people, you know that Bill 10 does not mean well for the people of this country. You know that very well. then you will go ahead and try and vote. No, 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 no. This bill is not good for the citizens of this country. The bill 10 is not empowering the ordinary Zambian. Yes, there are some good articles. Yes, there are some good things in it. But those good things, it's not like you're going to accept only those. No, 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 no. Everything, it has to be accepted as a document. It has to be accepted as a document with the good things and the bad things in it. And I even wonder, the Minister of Justice, if he really understands what's in that document. Our ministers, no, now I was just thinking to say, when you look at our members of parliament and their qualifications, okay, and their qualifications, now you understand why they are just told, oh, go and vote for this thing. They don't even read. They don't even see. The human rights, if you look at the Human Rights Commission, their hands will be tied. You and I cannot express ourselves freely. They will be limited on what they comment on. Right now, the Human Rights Commission can challenge government. Now, if the president can recall parliament in case of and call for a state of emergency, it means that elections can be prolonged. That's what it means. Even if they have set the date to say it's 12th August 2020 for elections, they can simply say, look, there's a state of emergency, elections can't go on. Simple, done. They knew and died. And then what happens? And that is the more reason why our MPs, members of parliament, you are elected by the people of Zambia. You are elected by the people of Zambia to represent them well. Represent them well. Educate the Zambian people. Maybe because some of you are not even educated and do not even see these things properly. Maybe you don't even understand the document. Maybe you don't even understand what they are talking, what is contained in that document. I have taken time to read, take notes, look at all these things, and then it marvels me when you see a lawmaker like Tutu Ngurube saying break people's legs. They will break our legs if this bill 10 goes through. That's why they want it to really go through, so that our human rights are sat on. Once they have majority in parliament, you are done. Forget. And you, Ron member of parliament, when this bill, then they start, we can't trust you, Ron member of parliament. We can't trust you to be in parliament there because you might vote for this document. You might vote for this document. You are a betrayer. You betrayed the country. You voted for this Geoffrey Lungwangwa as if you've never been a minister. And you political parties, where these MPs come from, they betray a country. What are you doing about them? Mr. Kambwidi, Dr. Kambwidi. This guy, your MP from Ron constituency, he went into parliament and betrayed us. Yeah? So, what is happening now? What's going to happen is, look, we have seen already statements by some PF cadres inciting violence. Okay? To say if those people go and protest, nobody said it's going to be a protest with armed people. No, it's a peaceful protest. So for them, even where there is peace, they want to bring confusion. So that when they cause confusion, these guys will want to cause confusion in this country, so that when they cause confusion, there's a chaos, they're going to say state of emergency. There is no, the things are, there is confusion. That's the more reason why, if you've heard me clearly, I wouldn't want us Zambians to be violent. Let's avoid violence by all means if we want elections next year to go on. Political opposition, political leaders, I am appealing it to you, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. You have the biggest opposition party in this country. Please manage your cadres. Let your cadres manage their hunger. Let your cadres manage their hunger. Dr. Kambwidi, you have also an opposition party. Manage your cadres. Manage your cadres. Look, Valanda T, let's apply wisdom in the current state of affairs. So the opposition leaders should apply wisdom. It should, the opposition, political, whatever it is, you should apply wisdom, you cadres. Don't just say, no, we are going to be violent. The moment they just hear that you are violent, declare a state of emergency, no elections, no nothing. Even when there is just a small thing. Right now, what you and I need to do is to be peaceful. And I'm aging. I was in Chinyunyu. Mpansha, Luangwa Bridge, okay, Chirugusha Village, okay, where, and then came to Feira. And I found this young girl, selling some, foodstuffs on her head. She was carrying foodstuffs on her head. And I look at that girl in a village. You can cry. You can cry. You can cry because this young person doesn't even have an idea about Bill 10. This young girl, this bill will affect a child that is in Chinyonyo. This Bill 10 will affect the child that is in Lundazi. A child that is in Feira, Sinazongwe, Chavuma. This bill. Now, you parliamentarians, as you go to parliament, think of these people that voted for you. I'm asking the baddest youths. Youths, it's time you rose up as the baddest, and we are going to support youths youths go and stand independent. The Constitution allows you to stand as an independent candidate. We are going to launch in our youths as independent candidates. If the political parties do not adopt young people, if you are not going to adopt youths in your political parties, what we are going to do is we are going to bring our own youths and they will stand as independent in all the constituencies. Because it's in the Constitution. That's the beauty. It's in the Constitution. We are going to have all the youths that want to stand as independent. Please. Please. Inbox me. Send me a message to say, I want to stand in this place. We are going to brand you. I'm going to make sure that from my photography I raise money to help those candidates. Because next year we should have a parliament of people that reason, of people that think, of people that will go through documents like Bill 10. Now, we are aware of some members of parliament from the opposition that even from the ruling, that are being bought, offered some sums of money. We are aware of that. And before you go to parliament to vote for that Bill 10, we are going to expose you. We are going to expose you. So you better do the right thing. You better do the right thing. And you, by NDC, that candidate of yours from Ron constituency, already he showed us signs. He showed us signs that this guy can't be trusted in parliament. Okay? Benny, I will reply. Don't worry. I will reply. As long as you're standing, I'm going to reply. Okay? So, Geoffrey Lungwangwa, you people in opposition, this is the moment you need to show leadership. Those members of parliament that voted for Bill 10 last time, those guys, you need to discipline them. You PND, deal with those people. Because these are the same people that will go back to parliament. This guy, because you see, and I'll tell you what, a lot of people just think, oh, it's about themselves. It should not be about yourself. It should be about the people that voted for you. The Zambian people. Look, this bill, as I've said, it's got some good things and bad things in it. But it's not a situation where you're going to just accept the good. No. Even the bad things that will be there, you have to accept them. Now, they tell you to say, look, your human rights, okay, your human rights are tempered with here. They are going to put it in the constitution that the Human Rights Commission cannot defend you in case of anything. Okay? Now, listen to this carefully. And I repeat, right now, the constitution gives the powers to ECZ, a lot of powers. ECZ has a lot of powers right now. With the introduction of Bill 10, ECZ powers will be now, already these institutions are toothless. Already majority of these institutions are toothless. Now, when they introduce Bill 10, they will even become toothless. Toothless, less. So, this is the thing where the whole document of the Bill 10, and I'm trying to tell you Zambian people to say this Bill 10 is not good for Zambians. And you, Tutu Ngurube, should apologize to the people of Zambia for saying that they should be their legs should be broken. I doubt our able and very educated commissioner in Central Province, Mr. Chola Katanga, I'm sure he just laughed at those sentiments because he's very educated. He's very educated. Now, if the lawmaker, Tutu Ngurube, who represents us in parliament, can speak like that, are you safe with Bill 10? You are not safe. So this bill, now, let me read this. At Act number 2 of 2016, national values demand morality and ethics, patriotism, and national unity. Morality and ethics. This is the constitution by which our members of parliament are sworn, those who represent us in National Assembly. Morality and ethics. Citizen obligation. Your obligation as a citizen from the constitution is that you have to be patriotic to the country, which I am being patriotic by explaining to you these things. So, your ECZ, now let me tell you, as a patriotic citizen, your ECZ, will not manage electoral malpractices under Bill 10. Because they will only deal with minor issues. So any electoral malpractice, the opposition are doomed. They will rule forever. So you should pray that this Bill 10 does not go through. It will prolong their stay in power. And now, the prisoners voting. Now, this is also another issue. The prisoners voting. You know what it will do? When the prisoners start voting? Who practices the prerogative of mercy? Oh my goodness. Zambia, my country. Who has the power to practice prerogative of mercy? Now, the question is, can the opposition go and campaign in the prisons? One. Can the opposition go in these prisons and campaign? Can they go and campaign? No, they can't go and campaign. The opposition cannot go and campaign in the prisons. Why? Because of what is happening now. It's not a fair playing field. It's not a fair playing field. It's not a fair playing field. So what happens is, when prisoners start voting, it will be a way of stealing votes. And I'm telling you, my people, open your eyes. Open your eyes. This thing of introducing that no prisoners should vote. We are not saying they are not Zambians. They are Zambians. But the question is, will opposition parties be allowed to go and campaign in the prisons? They can't go and campaign. So we need to go against this Bill 10. We need to show them to say we are not happy by rejecting Bill 10. We need to show that we are not happy with the way things are going by rejecting Bill 10. And this video must go viral so that they know that we are not happy. This video that I'm doing now should have even more than 1,000 shares. Because each time Zambians opened their eyes, these prisoners will just be told, vote for this person. Once you vote for the president, he will release you out of prison. You hear, no, prison, Chakut, they got so many votes. Now, let me tell you, let me educate you something. Let me educate you something. The opposition, or those people eyeing to be presidents, let me tell you, as we did what we call PVT, parallel vote tabulation. Okay, parallel vote tabulation. 2011, I was part of the anti-rigging thing set up by Michael Sata. 2014, 2015, I was part of the team that did PVT in the Patriotic Front. Now, I'm going to tell you, what happens is this. You people who are in the opposition, you need to get people from Lusaka. To go in the villages and register as voters come October. So that when they go in the villages, they are vigilant, they are clever, they are sharp. Now, if you, the opposition, are not going to send your people from Lusaka to go and register in the villages come October, you are done. As what we did with the late Michael Chilufya Sata was to have a lot of people, was to have people from Lusaka go and register even in the villages. So that they are vigilant, they are clever, they can see, and all those things. When you have polling agents in all polling stations, there is no rigging. There is no tampering of votes. No one tampers with the votes. No one tampers with anything. But if you don't have polling agents, you will cry even next year to say they rigged. There is no, believe you me, as long as you have polling agents in all the polling stations, there is no rigging. No one is going to rig an election because there is parallel vote tabulation. What we call PVT. Some of us are experts in this area. That's my expertise. That is my expertise. You can ask PF members, they will tell you. That's my expertise. When I deal with PVT, when Chella deals with PVT, believe you me, when Chella deals with your PVT, you are sorted. You are sorted. By the time you are realizing, we know what you've gotten, what results you've gotten. We even have a team. PF knows. We even have a team of people that knows how to handle PVT, parallel vote tabulation. We handled the parallel vote tabulation at Lewis and Mosho Nankan. So, as long as the presidential candidate has campaigned, let me comfort you. If your presidential candidate has campaigned and has done it massively, then there is the way you do these campaigns and all those things. If you do them well, you do your homework very well, there is a way you need to do these campaigns. You don't just go about no. You need to have a strategy. That's why some of us can just say, okay, this person will be president, and that person may become president as long as he listens to what we are telling them. And that's why all of you open your eyes, your ears, open them. The opposition, the ruling, open your eyes. Stop this thing of crying, no, they stole the votes. No one steals your votes. No one steals your votes. You just don't do your homework. You are waiting to be told, oh, there is Bill 10. This Bill 10, thing, campaign against it. Me, I've been going around the country. You think I just sit in one place? I've been going around the country. Again, I'm going back in the villages. You think I'm in Lusaka? No. I am a person who's moving around. I told you that I was in Rufunsa, Feira, Luangwa, all these areas. I was there recently. And going back. So, me, I'm a grassroots person. So when I go and start campaigning against Bill 10, when I go and start educating people about the corruption happening in the country, and the villagers, me and the villagers have been very good friends of late. And they know me, Chella, Mumishumu. I've been passing in these villages. I've been passing. And that's what we do. So, for me, my duty is to educate my Zambian people. Open your eyes, see things the way they're going. You, wrong member of parliament, we don't want you. We don't want you to go and represent us because you're a betrayer. You betrayed us. You betrayed us. You go and vote in that parliament, you vote wrongly. And you members of parliament, like I've said, the day before you go to vote for Bill 10, we'll publish your names. All of you who've been collecting money to vote for that bill. I'm publishing your names. So you better do the right thing. We'll publish your names and we'll say this one was the sellout, this one was the sellout, this one was the sellout. Okay? And like I said, the issue, I've spoken about the prisoners, and all, and I'm just alerting you to say, for us, the baddest movement continues to be non-partisan. Us, we are non-partisan, and we want the young people, the youths who are energetic. If you feel you are a youth, energetic, you are popular in your area, and there is no political party that can adopt you, stand as an independent, the baddest movement will support you. You will be our MPs, you will be our voices, because these people are not representing us well. So we might have the baddest youths standing as councillors, as MPs. We are going to stand as independent candidates, and I want young people to stand, challenge the status quo next year. Challenge the status quo, stand as MPs. Because these people, when they vote, if they vote for Bill 10, we will decampaign them. You members of parliament, if we just vote for the Bill 10, we decampaign you. Immediately we start decampaigning you. Immediately we decampaign you and finish you. That one is a promise. So you better do the right thing in parliament. And the minimum better go down as well, because people are suffering. Bembers say ukuteka embwa mano olwa mano yafuma muifwesa yaya muchulu mwewuteko umfweni kubantu, umfweni kubantu kutikeni abantu ofu balefwaya, umfweni ife abantu balelila, umfweni ife abantu balelishanya. Ero mubule filiyovyo balemyeba abantu efe muchite umfweni amano yalene yakute ukuteka embwa mano olwo amano yene yafuma muchulu yamwifwesa icho chibemba ngolefu okuteka abantu ni wisdom, olwo wisdom ine ikafuma ku bantu balabene abalemye bati no, do this, do that. The people, when your people say we want reduced minimum prices, listen to them. Don't tell them no, we are increasing because of this. Those are the people that gave you power. Those are the people that voted for you. Do the right thing for your people. Do the right thing for your people. Let your people, make your people proud. That's why you are voted in those offices, is to listen to the needs of the people, is to pay attention to what the people want. And what the people want is the equal distribution of wealth, the wealth that is in this country. Give the people what belongs to them. May God bless Mother Zambia. I love you all. Any questions? True. Teddy says, true. Tell them, bro, David Omakai, how are you? So all the baddest youths across the country, please, this is our movement. Let us stand and fight for it. Thank you.